From the Weather NorCal Command Center, this is your morning update.
Cascade Paint and Supply is Reading's oldest family-owned paint store, established in 1953. We are the largest Dunn Edwards dealer in the nation, and most of our products are made in the U.S. Our friendly and knowledgeable staff are ready to answer your questions and help you today.
Good morning, everyone. A quick reminder, want to remind you there's a great free Weather NorCal app. All you have to do is go to your app store, search for Weather NorCal, and you'll see this icon pop up. Tap install, boom, you're good to go. You've got everything you need from Weather NorCal on the app. Everything I offer here on Weather NorCal, it's available on the app. So you can watch the video that you're watching right now. You can watch the 24-hour streaming channel. You can check out your neighborhood forecast. You can check out Turtle Bay Wonderful World of Animals, Ag Report, the works. It's all right here from the palm of your hand. All right, let's get to the forecast here. We've got the weather headlines talking about a warming trend. It's going to continue today, and for some, even into tomorrow. But you may have already felt those warmer temperatures yesterday. You're going to feel it even more so for today. Cooler, though, by the end of the week. Yes, can you believe it? We're seeing a cooling trend again, and even a chance for some showers. And we can't even rule out some thunderstorms in the mix there as well. But it does look like, as we go into early next week, we're going to dry things out with highs eventually getting closer to normal for this time of the year. There's going to be something going into early next week that may impede some of that warming for next week. But again, we'll talk about that a little bit later. Let's get you through today, though, with your neighborhood forecast. And there you can see kind of a quick glance at all of the different neighborhoods that we offer here at Weather NorCal. It's warming up in the valley. I think some mid-80s for your highs today. Even in Trinity County, we're up to 80. 70s for Siskiyou, Modoc, Eastern Mountains, and of course for the coast, one of the cooler spots, those temperatures in the upper 50s. So again, there's that warmer air that's in place. But this is not a gigantic ridge of high pressure, which is the reason why we've seen some clouds out there in some cases here yesterday, and we'll see them again today. So eventually what will happen is this is moving on out. We've got cooler air coming down, heading southward. Now, by Friday, we're going to go from the mid-80s here for the valley to the upper 60s. So a bit of a drop in the temperatures, and it will be noticeable, but upper 60s really isn't that bad. Eventually, though, that colder air, it moderates as it moves over us, but it will cool us off even more with low to mid 60s in the valley here by Saturday and Sunday. Of course, we're going to talk about the chances for rain with that here in a bit. We're just going to talk about the roller coaster around those temperatures because that moves on out. But see this ridge of high pressure? It's trying to build in, but it can't because we've got this guy right here coming on in from the north. That's going to keep our temperatures down a bit, but also some gusty winds, which we'll talk about that a little bit later as well. But this is what's going to prevent our temperatures from getting as warm as they could if this ridge could build in. And eventually, I'm seeing trends that toward the end of next week, we may see eventually that warmer air begin to move in. But, you know, that's still kind of a long ways out. Here's your 10-day trend, kind of give you an idea, that roller coaster ride. There's that dip in the temperatures going into the weekend, and then they'll kind of level out just slightly above normal here as we do go through next week. I just wanted to show you Reading, kind of the overall trend for Northern California, though. So you can see near to just barely below normal here when we do look at that long range temperature-wise. And remember I was talking about it's not the strongest of ridges of high pressure? Well, that's because, again, it's not arcing as high as we typically see with these stronger ridges. So as a result, you do have some clouds that can kind of filter through those ridges. So we do see at times some high and even a few mid-level clouds move in, but doesn't really have a very big impact on those temperatures. All right, so let's take a look at futurecasts. Let's walk you through the timing of everything here. Of course, today, we're just going to see maybe a couple of those puffy cumulus clouds develop in the higher elevations, and there's some of the high clouds that we could see filter through here throughout the afternoon. Then we take you into your Thursday, and it looks like Thursday, again, some of those cumulus clouds developing. Now, here's the thing. There are some models indicating that we could see a stray thunderstorm for some of the higher elevations here as early as tomorrow afternoon. It looks like the bulk of that activity, though, will be off to our north and east. So Modoc County, northeastern Siskiyou County, not out of the question for a stray thunderstorm tomorrow afternoon. I mean, it certainly could happen. Then we go into your Friday. So here's Friday morning at 10 a.m. We actually have this disturbance passing through. So I think we'll start Friday morning off with some showers for the North Coast, central and western Siskiyou County, and not to mention Trinity County. Then eventually, as this kind of moves over the coastal range, it'll probably start to fizzle out, but I'm still calling for a chance for showers for the valley by Friday afternoon, and then maybe even some of that making its way off to the east here by Friday afternoon as well. Here's your longer range forecast. There's the area of low pressure. There is that, of course, that rain that I was just showing you. Now, the thing is, that low pressure system isn't going to come from, where it's on Friday and then just push eastward. It's going to dive to the south first. So what will happen is we'll probably see just a tad bit of a break here Friday night into early Saturday morning, and then the flow around that area of low pressure will bring us a better chance for some more widespread rainfall Saturday afternoon. Then that low pressure moves away from us on Sunday. So chances for showers are still in the forecast for everyone, but I do anticipate that the chances will diminish later on in the day. And by the way, snow levels, they're high. 5,000 feet, I think, at its lowest. There may be a point in time it may get a little bit lower than that, but shouldn't have much, if any, impact on your travel. Then, of course, you can see another area of low pressure. Remember that cold air coming down? Well, the thing is, this is what we call an inside slider. This low pressure system moves to the south and east, and it tends to give us some gusty winds. So we may see those winds pick up Monday, Tuesday, even into Wednesday of next week, but that moves on out of here. You still see a little bit of that tight pressure gradient, which is an indication of the winds. Those lines are tightly packed together, but we're not seeing any rainfall. There may be, it looks like, a little bit of activity trying to develop, even for parts of the Sierra, but overall it's going to be fairly dry. And as I mentioned, keep your fingers crossed. We can hope that this eventually builds in by the end of next week. But looking at the precipitation outlook, keeps us below normal. So yes, we do have the chances for rain over the weekend, but it just doesn't look like it's going to amount to much. All right, so here's your wave heights for today. Of course, we do have that small craft advisory. You've got those high wave heights. And the small craft advisory will be allowed to expire Thursday afternoon. And there's why, because those wave heights are starting to drop through the day on Thursday. All right, so here's your marine forecast. North winds at 5 to 15 knots, waves from the north at 7 feet at 8 seconds, and from the northwest at 7 feet at 15 seconds. There's your low tide, your high tide, and then, of course, your sunrise and sunset. And there's that small craft advisory I was talking about through Thursday afternoon. All right, so here's your Trinity County neighborhood forecast. Oh man, look at that. Temperatures upper 70s, some low 80s in Trinity County. For the North Coast, we're talking upper 50s to low 60s, although inland much warmer in the upper 70s. 77 degrees for Alder Point, 79 degrees for Garberville, 64 though out in Shelter Cove. Let's take you up to the north. 66 degrees for Smith River, 74 degrees in Gas Key. Look at that. I mean, we could touch 80 degrees, I think, for some spots here, for some of us in the inland areas. And for Siskiyou County, we've got those temperatures mainly in the 70s for central and western Siskiyou County. We're getting close to 80 in Happy Camp, though. And then you head to some of those higher elevations up to the north and east, mainly in the mid-60s there. Your Modoc County neighborhood forecast there, you can see 67 degrees for Tule Lake, 70 out in Canby, as well as Calpines, and there's Aden with a high of about 68 degrees. 70 degrees for a high today in Fall River Mills, as well as Janesville, 72 for Susanville. Just an absolutely picture perfect day. Get out and enjoy it, because yes, the cooler and wetter pattern moves in by the weekend. 81 degrees for Orland, 80 in Corning, as well as Durham, and there's Gridley with a high of about 79 degrees. And your Valley neighborhood forecast brought to you by NorCal Tractor, with temperatures in the low to mid 80s. 84 degrees for Redding, 79 out in Whiskeytown, and 83 in Red Bluff. So there's your 7-day outlook. Oh yes, it's looking pretty good, at least for the next couple of days. Those temperatures drop, but here's the thing. It's not going to drop terribly cold. We're low to mid 60s, but at least we're not getting back down to the 50s. All right, so we do have the chance for showers on Friday. I think better chances for rain on Saturday. That means it's going to be the day that everyone has the best chance for some measurable rainfall. Then on Sunday, it diminishes with drier and slightly warmer conditions here going into Monday and Tuesday of next week.